Okay, yeah. So I said today we'll be adding these details that you can see. You can see these little details here, especially this one and these buttons. So that's what we're gonna do today. We'll just add the details and also focus on our texturing from where we stopped last time. Cool. So looking at this speaker from the top, we can see this rounded stuff, rounded details on it. And the best way to achieve that is, so let's say from my speaker, I just select this top.
Sorry, Ben, are you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
I know today will be tough.
Not really. It won't be. It won't be that much tough. So I want to make this top, like I want to lift it up a little, then now add this circle, these circular details I have here. So in order to do that, I will use that my eye to insert it. Remember the eye insert that we've been using all this while? So if I press I will insert this guy inside, inward like this. After which, I pull it up. I pull it up like this. If I pull it up, then I might, yeah. Let me see what it looks like. I'll be experiencing hanging a little bit because I'm with my laptop. I think it's crashed already. Damn.
And I used to experience the same thing with my own. Used to hang too much.
Yeah. I think the reason why it's hanging too much is because of this array guys here. You know, that array is more details. It's a detail. Let me delete some few things I have here to know if it will help. Okay, well that's by the way. Now the next thing I want to do is to add this circle stuff here. In order to do that, I'll just shift A, add a cylinder, scale it inside, scale it along Z axis, pull it out like this. I want to pull this guy inwards a little bit, but I'm just scared it might end up crashing my laptop. But let me try. So I inserted inside again, then pulled this one inward like this, just to give it that detail that shows it's shooting inside. Okay, you can see the detail I'm talking about. I think it's even much. Okay, so I'll place this one, scale it along Z axis because I don't need much. I just want it to pull out a little. Let me take off that last detail I gave because it's too inside and it's crashing my PC. Guy, oh my God. Yeah. So, as I've gotten to this point, the next thing I will do is I would select this cylinder, select the top, then insert it with I, making sure I'm on my face selection mode. I select the top face, I'll insert it a little this way, then I will push this inside inward like this. Then for the edges, what I will do to the edges is I will select all the edges, press 2, select the edge. Now, Obiora and Victor, just pay attention to what I'm about to do now. Are you guys listening?
Yes, yes.
So, if at all I want to start selecting this edge, you know that the old way
Yes.
the old way we usually do it is by pressing shift and selecting all the edge one after the other, right? And this is very, very tedious to do because we have a lot of edges to select. So what we'll do now is, instead of holding shift to start selecting it one after the other, I would press alt in my keyboard, then click on the edge for it to select all the edges.
Okay.
I hope you guys got
Hold
the,
on, let me write it down.
yeah. So you press alt button, then you click on that edge. So if you do it, it will select all the edge, all the similar edges like that. So let's say, for instance, the edges I want to select is this one, this inward one. If I hold my alt and click to select it, you can see it will select everything for me. If it's this one, I'll click and it will do the same. But the edge I want to select is this one, so I'll just hold my alt button, click and select everything. Now, if I do that, the next thing I need to do is press Ctrl B to give it that bevel. Now, if you notice, you see that this bevel is not giving me the effect I want. Who can tell me what I can do to fix it? I said it from the last time. Obiora, do you remember?
To fix the
So now, if I should press Ctrl B to bevel this edge, if I press Ctrl B to bevel this edge, you see that it is not beveling correctly.
you start scrolling. You will start scrolling to add more.
To add more details.
Yeah.
No, not really. So the reason why this is happening is because I have scaled this object. I scaled it without applying. That is the reason why you see me most times after I'm done scaling it or rotating it, I would press Ctrl A to apply. You remember I did it during the time I was adding the array modifier. So now let me add Ctrl A so that you will see the difference. Make sure you're in object mode. Selecting the object, you press Ctrl A. And instead of me adding all the transformation, I will just pick apply only scale, because that is the only thing I want to apply now. So if I click on apply scale, I'll go back again in edit mode, repeat the bevel. You notice now that this thing is beveling correctly now.
Yes.
But before it wasn't beveling correctly. And that was one of the issues that Victor was facing. I could see it from his model, that phone model he created. I could see that the bevel wasn't happening even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir. How did you press? My network was disturbing.
I just pressed Ctrl A.
Okay.
Control
Object
Control
edit
A
mode.
to
I was in object mode, then I pressed Ctrl A.
Okay.
Yeah. So by doing so, I'm done with this guy. Now the next thing is, let's assume I want to add lights. I want to add lights in the sides of my speaker. So what I will do again is I will select the speaker, control, just go in my edit mode. Then I'll press Ctrl R to add a loop cut. Scale the loop cut outward like this. Press another Ctrl R to add another loop cut. Push it out again like this. Now let me add details also to my edge. By now you know how I selected all this edge, right? Obiora, do you know?
Yes, by pressing Alt.
Alt, then I click right.
Yes, to select Alt.
Then I press Ctrl B to give it this edge, bevel.
Bevel.
The reason why I'm giving bevel to my edges is so that if light is hitting it, it will get nice reflections. In real world, there is nothing like any sharp object. Even knife is not sharp. If you come very close to knife, you will see that knife has this, it has that little bevel in it. You get my point? So whenever you're creating an object, make sure that you try as much as possible to give bevel to the edges. If you don't give bevel to the edges, the light won't hit properly. But this is just an advanced something, but I'm just saying it now because I've done it in this your project. Now, the next thing I will do is I would select. Now, Obiora, I want to ask a tricky question. Obiora and Victor, you can see this. You can see this loop cut I added. Can you see it now? Obiora, I hope you guys can see it.
Yes,
Yeah.
around loop, yes.
Yeah, using the trick I told you guys while selecting edges. If I want to select all these faces, how can I do it without selecting them one after the other?
You click Alt and click the edge.
I click Alt and do what?
And click the edge.
This is why I'm doing it. Am I doing it right, or what do I need to do better?
No, you click Alt.
I think,
Yeah, Victor, say what you want to say.
okay, I thought you are going to click Alt and A.
Alt and what?
A.
A. A will be to select everything. So what I was expecting you guys to tell me is to ask me to come to this mode and change to face mode. Now I'm currently on edge mode, and edge mode is for selecting edges. Vertex mode is for selecting vertices. So if I thought what I wanted to select is vertices, if I hold Alt and click on the vertex, you see that it is selecting the vertex. But what I want to select is the face. So I'll click to be on my face mode, then Alt and click on the face. You get it now? So I want to pull this edge, I want to pull these faces inward a little. So to do that, I'll press my I to insert it a little. Then after inserting it, I'll press E on my keyboard to extrude it inward like this. Inward. So now I've given details for where my light will shine, and I've also added details for the button. Now the last details to talk about is this one we have here, this hose. Any idea, any suggestion from you guys how to add this hose from the previous class?
Okay, you see this I.
Area modifier.
I use what?
Area modifier.
Array or Boolean, which one?
I'm sorry, Boolean.
Boolean modifier, right?
Boolean
Okay.
modifier,
Yeah. So I just wanted to be sure if you still remember. So Victor, in order to add holes like this, what we use to add holes are Boolean modifiers. But then I don't think I would love to do that now because of, okay, let me do it. Why not? I was just trying to be careful not to crash Blender.
Okay.
Yeah, but let me do that as well so that you guys can see everything. Remember, I just have to create cylinders to get those holes. Obiora and Victor, I just want you guys to, like, if you face any challenge, I want you to reach out to Obiora to put you through. And Obiora, I want you to take it very, very serious in putting him through, because the more you are explaining to him, you are learning it more. You're getting more used to it. So please, Victor, if you have any challenge, reach out to Obiora. Then Obiora, you will see that most questions he will ask you might even require you to call me. There are things you might think you know, but when he asks you and you observe you can't do that, then you are also free to call me. Then I would intervene.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next thing I will do now is, I feel like introducing another modifier. No need of introducing another modifier for now. Just get used to these ones, guys. Or let me introduce one modifier now. The modifier I'll introduce is called the mirror modifier. So you can see the mirror modifier here.
Yes.
So if I click on the mirror modifier, what the mirror modifier does is it mirrors whatever we have. So now that I have this object and I click on the mirror modifier, I want to mirror it in this other side. I want to mirror this object this other side. Now if you look, you see that what is cutting this axis is Y. So meaning that if I want to mirror it, I'll just have to mirror it along Y axis. So I'll come to this place where I have axis and click on Y axis, then deactivate the X axis. But then you notice that nothing happened, no change. No change. So now what I will do next is I will use this my eyedropper to pick that circle I created last, this cylinder I created in the center. Then nothing happened again. I think the reason now being that I need to apply this object, the rotation, because I think I've rotated it. So let me select the cylinder, Control A, and apply my rotation. Apply rotation. So still no effect, no visible effects. Okay. So it's actually happening in the x-axis, which is not supposed to be. It should be in the y-axis. But I feel like it's still something involved, something about applying. Okay, well, that's by the way. So you can see the object. You can see the cylinder, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just use the mirror modifier to mirror it in the other side of the... Who is coming? Who is joining us now? Hi, bro. You're welcome. So you see, I use the mirror modifier to duplicate it, making it easier for me. It's now way easier for me. Instead of making any adjustment in this and making in this one as well, I'll just adjust one and both will be adjusted. So let me duplicate this other cylinder to get another one. I can call it top hole. So Control D, Control C, V. Now duplicate this and rotate it. Okay, so the same thing I did here, let me do the same thing in this part again. So I would select again, select my mother object, click on add modifier, pick boolean, give it some time to finish hanging. Okay, my eyedropper and pick the child, give it some time. So after that is done, I'll select the child, go to object, go to viewport display, change it from texture to bounds. Okay, select my mother again and make sure that the boolean has been selected. So click here, give it some time to finish hanging. Yeah, so this is okay now. Now I want to apply every boolean I've done because I feel like this is one of the things that is hanging my PC. So I'll just select my speaker, select my speaker object, right click and go to convert, right click, go to convert to, and click convert to mesh, so that I'll convert all these boolean that I've created. It will help to make my speaker to stop hanging, because now it's currently hanging a lot. So I'll delete all these shapes that I use in creating the mesh. At least my speaker it's a bit lighter now, it's not hanging that much. Now the next detail I would want to add now is this button. And there are two ways to achieve that. The first way being modeling it, then the second way being applying it as a texture. So I'll follow the applying it as a texture method here now in this class. So in order to see the beauty of what we've done so far, I'll go to my edit mode, my material mode. From the last class, I showed you guys how to apply material, but for the fact that I'm creating this model using another laptop, that's why you can see that material from where we stopped last time. So I'll just directly now go to my material and add, making sure my object is my speaker is selected. I'll click on material and add a new material. So let me call this one speaker body. Speaker body. So my speaker body, I'll just give it a black color like where we stopped from in the last class. So I would also come to my roughness and reduce the roughness so that it will be a bit shiny. Something around 0.4 is okay for me. Then I'll also select the top. Select this top, go to this place, you can see this arrow drop down, click on it and pick my speaker body, which is that black material that I've created. Now, the next thing I need to do is, remember I told you I want my speaker to have light at the top. So in order to give it that light at the top, I'll select my speaker, press my tab to be on edit mode, making sure my face mode is selected. I'll click on one face, hold my Alt button and select all the round face. Select this face. So now, after selecting this face, I'll come to this place. I have this plus button in my material tab. From my material, I'll click on this plus button to add another material on the existing speaker body material that I've already created. Now, for this part, this one I just added, I'll click on new to give it a name. So I'll call it the speaker light. Speaker light. Now for this speaker light, I won't be using this surface, this principled BSDF as a surface. Rather, I'll click on the principled BSDF, go to emission, select emission. Then from this color, I'll give the light the kind of color I would want it to have. So let's say for instance, I want it to have a blue color. I'll just pick the blue color. Then from the strength, I'll change the strength from 1 to 5. I'll change it from 1 to 5. Then now, if you notice, I've not started seeing the effect of what I've done so far. The reason being that after doing that, I need to assign it to the selected object. So let me click on assign. Immediately I click on assign, you can see it has already been assigned. So let's go to our object mode. You can see the beauty of what we've done so far. Now our speaker have two color. Now the next thing to do is to apply this texture that we have here. Apply it on the top of this cylinder. Now in order to do that as well, I will have to be on my top mode, top view mode, be on my tab, I want to select all these faces because that is where I want to attach that material. Now the next thing I need to do is I'll make sure I'm on my face mode. Make sure I'll hold my alt to select all these faces. Then make sure I hold my shift, select this one also. Now after doing that, I'll come to this my plus button again, just like what I did when I was creating for the light. I'll click on this plus button, add another one. Then I'll click on new and I'll call it my speaker. Let's call it speaker button. The initial one was speaker light. This one will be speaker button. So remember that I said after doing that, you click on assign. Now that I've assigned it, it's giving me white color. The reason it's giving me white color is because the base color here is white. But I don't want to use base color. I don't want to use color. I want to use image as the base color. In order to do that, I'll click on this place. I can see yellow dot. Yellow dot. If I click on it, it will give me more other options. Now, from other options, I'll click on this part where I'm seeing image texture. If I click on image texture, then I will click on open to locate the image from where I saved it on my PC. So when I click on open, I'll go to where I have the image on my PC. Go to pictures. I think I have it on my pictures. Screenshots. Yeah, and here you go. Click on it and open. So now Blender has automatically placed that image on top of my mesh, but it's not displaying properly the way I would want it to display. So meaning that I need to switch my tab from staying on this layout. I'll have to switch to UV editing in order to edit the position. So I'll switch tab to be on my UV editing. Then I'll also, let me move this down, also be on top mode here. Press 7 to be on top mode. Now, before I proceed, guys, I want you guys to ask me questions. I need one question from everybody so that I'll be sure we are on the same page before I proceed with what I'm about doing now. Turn on the mic and ask questions, guys. All right, you're free. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any other question aside from this one that you asked? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, just ask the questions. I will have all your questions, then I'll find the best way to answer them. Ask all your questions. Okay, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, very clear. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Jonas is the one asking this question, right? Uh, Okay, okay. And Victor, do you have any question or everything still looks new to you? Okay, perfect. All right. So I will address the questions that I've collected. I just want to get that engagement from you guys. So just pay attention with this image texture I'm placing now because it's something new. After which I will now repeat everything I've done so far using a cube. I believe that wouldn't hang my PC. So I believe that everything up till this point that I shifted to UV editing mode, you guys understood it. Okay, yeah. So don't miss me in this part. Just pay attention. I will explain every other thing. Now, as I've switched to my UV editing mode, the next thing I need to do is making sure that this guy is still selected. I'll press U on my keyboard. I'll press U. Okay, U is not working. I'll just right click on my keyboard. Go to this part where I'm seeing my unwrap, UV unwrap faces. Then I'll pick to unwrap it. Following the I want to follow the view. So I'll click on this part where I see project from view. So you can see I have unwrapped it. Now this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to layer this image on this 3D. Now if you notice, you see that this image, this what is actually showing is this light part. The reason this light part is showing here is because that is what is selected here. You guys, you can see the magic, right? So now what I need to do is I'll place this in the center, making sure I target my center. Then I will scale it out this way. So I'll scale it out this way. Now let's go to object mode to see the beauty of what we've done so far. You can see the beauty. Yeah. So now the next thing I will do now, I hope no confusion up to this point. It's here. That's it here. Yeah, that's what I did now. I just picked from the image and yeah, placed it here. As easy as that. I'll just match the texture of my body to this one I have here. So speaker body, adjust the color to match that guy. See? So far so good. We proceed. Obiora, you're good. Okay, tell me the challenges. Okay, all right. I will do that now. Yeah, the last thing I wanted to add is I wanted to add text. So if it just permits me to add text, then I know that everything about this speaker is complete. Then I will now start showing you guys what I've done before. I just wanted this video to be complete so that even if I'm sharing it, someone who is watching would get confused. Now the last thing I would want to add is the text. So for that part, I need to know the font they made the logo. Okay, now not even about adding text. You can see now that they added this speaker number, this sound number, something like that. So meaning that I need to know the name of this font. In order to find font, you just go to the font to download font. So let's assume I'm in the font to get nice font. So for this kind of font, I will look for it on my LCD display font. So this is LCD display. You can see fonts that are similar to it. I hope you can see the screen. So let's say, for instance, I think I like this Magic Error. I'll just download it. So if I download it, I'll go to my see more downloads, open it. This is the font. Yeah. Then I will just install it. The name of the font is 7 segment. 7 segment. So meaning now I just have to come back to my Blender, making sure I'm in my top mode or any mode, just making sure I'm in one mode. So let's say just for instance, I'm in my top mode. I will shift A. This part, it might be difficult for you because this speaker is already here in the center. Okay. Let me add that because what I might want to show, I've not said it before and it might get a little bit tedious. I'll click on text to add text. So I'll pull it out. I'll pull it out in a place where nothing is distracting it. And I will click on edit my tab mode, delete all the tab, type 08, 2 dots and 26. Now, after selecting this, I'll click on this part from my tab here that I can see A. Click on this A and go to click on font. So if I click on the font, I'll click on this part where I have my regular. I'll click on the folder button. Then I'll look for that font I just downloaded, and the name of the font is 7 segment. So these are all the fonts I have on my system. They will be displayed here, but the one I'm looking for is 7 segment. For some reason, it hasn't updated here, and that's an issue now. Hmm. So let me see if I can do anything. Okay. Now, you know what I did? I extracted the font. And I just picked it with my Blender instead of going to the file where place where I installed it. Is that okay? Okay. Yeah. Whenever you attempt it, if you face any challenge here, you can always ask me. Now, after doing that, the next thing I need to do now is to add some details to my text. I need to extrude it. I need to give it some thickness. So in order to do that, making sure my font is still selected, I'll click on my geometry. Click on geometry. Then this is the extrude. So you see, the more I'm extruding it, the more I'm giving it thickness. So I think around 0.02, it's fine. Just a little thickness is okay. Then if I want to give it bevel, I can also do that from here. So I'll come to bevel, just add a little bevel to it. Let's say 0.0. I just want to add little bevel. Now, the next thing I need to do is rotate it along x-axis 90 degree. Then I'll now position it where I want it to stay. Did what I did now, is it confusing? Really? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know definitely that the day we'll start adding details that it will be a bit tough, but not that much tough. But don't worry, everything I've done now, I will redo it again before I call it a day. Okay, yeah, once this countdown is done, then the next call will just be to show you guys how I've done everything using a cube. So after this one, after this one, the next thing I just need to do is, lastly, is to add it that material, this same material I use for the light. I will just click on this drop down and pick my speaker light material, and that's it. So the same step I used in adding this number is what I will use also to add this logo. But that one will be your classwork. That one will now show me that you guys have understood what I've done so far. So guys, any questions so far from what we've done? In absence of any question, I would save this one, send another link. In that second link, I will now show you guys everything I've done again, and like I will recreate it again for your understanding. Are we good? All right. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. I will drop this call, then call back again for explanation. I wanted to tackle the different things that give you guys challenges in the video. It's not more like I'm creating everything afresh. Now, the first one for Victor, the question you asked in the group about selecting the edges, beveling the edges, is just making sure that you're in edit mode. Then if you're in edit mode, making sure that you're on edge mode. Then you click to select one of the edge, hold shift, select the other edges. After selecting that, then you press Ctrl B, Ctrl B. Then if you press Ctrl B, you can start dragging it to get the size you want. So once you get the size you want, then you screw your mouse to accept it. That is how to add bevel. That is number one. Then number two, that details I added at the top, the part where I added that light. What I did, the only thing I did was I just making sure I'm in my edit mode, making sure I'm in my top view mode, and making sure I'm in my face selection mode. I click to select this face. It's just the same thing you guys know. It's just like selecting this face. I'm in my top mode. Now the next thing I did is I press I on my keyboard to insert. So once I've inserted and gotten this one, I can accept. I can accept. No, I'm not even extruding now. I'll press I again to insert again. So once I'm done with this one, I'll hit OK. Now I want to select this part, making sure I'm still in my face selection mode. I would hold Alt on my keyboard and click on one of these face to select it round. Now, after selecting it round, to give it that detail, that little detail I did, is I press again I on my keyboard to insert it inward a little bit. You can see that little detail. And after adding this little detail, the next thing I would do now is press press E on my keyboard to extrude it inward. Now, for that top bar, that top button bar, what I use is I just shift A, added a cylinder, I added a cylinder and I scaled it this way, then pulled it up this way. If this is small, I can scale it this way. This is exactly just what I did. This is what I did. Now, I told you guys that it is not good. Guys, are you still here? Everywhere is quiet. Okay, now I told you guys that it is not good to have hard edges. That even knife doesn't have sharp edge. They all have little bevel. So in order to do that, I selected this my cylinder, go to my tab, which is edit mode, click here to be on my edge mode. Now hold Alt to select all this edge. Zoom in and press Ctrl B. Now when I press Ctrl B, you notice that this was supposed to go evenly, but it's just pushing inside. Who can tell me what I did to fix it? Obiora, Victor, exactly. Thank you for that. But before the Control A, I made sure I was in what? Object mode. Yeah, so from object mode, I press Control A and I told you to just apply only scale. I click to apply scale. Now, if I go back to my tab and repeat the same thing, you see that it is now going evenly. So I'll just give it that little edge that I want and I'm good. Now, I also did the same thing for this one. For my speaker here, I make sure I'm in edge mode, select this edge round, then I pressed Ctrl B and gave it little edge so that it is not too sharp. If I like, I can do it also in this part. Any place I have sharp edge, I can just give it that little bevel so that I don't have sharp edges. By doing so, light will hit properly on my model and my model will be very fine like this one. Yes. Yeah. In that one, I used loop cut, but you can still use insert. So let's assume I want to do the same thing I did using loop cut. What I need to do is I'll press Ctrl R. Let me see here. Not even Ctrl R. It's still gonna be the insert because this guy is not cutting properly. So if I use insert, then you see it here. Yeah, that one solved, right? Now the next challenge now was adding the materials. We all know about this shade smooth to make it smooth. Right click also on this one and shade smooth to make it smooth. Now the next thing I need to do is come to my material. I need the speaker body. So the speaker body, I'll click on new, call it speaker body, and I'll give it a black material like this and reduce the roughness to 0.4. Now you're not seeing this effect because I'm not in my material mode. I switch to material. So you can see it has applied to this top. I will select my speaker and also apply it to my speaker. So the next thing now, which is this arrow here, click on this arrow, then that's the material speaker body. That's it. Now, another place I felt you guys had the challenge was adding the lights. So in order to add the lights, I'll select the speaker, be in my edit mode. Now I need to start selecting these faces. And in order to do that all at once, can someone remind me how to select all of them at once? Or alt click, right? Now, in order to add extra material on top of what I already have here, I'll click on this plus button. If I click on the plus button, I'll click on new and I'll double click and call it my speaker light. Speaker light. Now this speaker light, I need to assign it to this selection that I'm already selected. So I'll just click on assign. Now once I click on assign it to, you see that it automatically changes color to white, which is the color of the base. But now I don't want to use the principled BSDF because what I want to do is I want to create light. In order to do that, I'll click on this principled BSDF. I will switch to emission. So if I switch on emission, I would increase the strength to 5. Then I can adjust the lights, the color to something nice as well. So with that being said, the next topic again now was applying the image, this image to this top. So this is the image. I'll be on my top mode. Click on edit mode to edit this guy. And I'll just press face 3 to be on my face mode. Select this face, just like what we did when we were creating for the light. Now I'll come to this plus button again, click to add a plus button, click to add new, then I'll call it speaker. Let's call it even speaker button image. So after doing that, I'll click on assign it here. Now it changes to white, which is automatically the base color here, but that's not what we want to use. So we'll just click on this yellow dot here, switch to image texture. So when I click to switch on my image texture, I'll click on my open to locate that top button, to locate this top material from my PC. I'll go to my pictures because that's where I saved it. Go to my screenshots, scroll down, and this is it. So this was the point where I told you guys, okay, from this point, I'll have to click on UV editing to go to UV editing mode. If I click to go to UV editing mode, you will see that circle here already, but it's not looking good the way I want it to look. Switch this guy also to be on top so that you'll be seeing the beauty of what we're doing. And I told you that making sure I'm still I'm this topic selected, I will right click and go to UV unwrap faces, scroll down to where I see project from view. Now if I click on from edit mode, but I'm doing it actually on this tab and not this tab. This one is a different tab and this one is another different tab. So I'm doing it from this tab. So from this tab, I would right click and go to project from view. So now you can see it's looking fine already, but not what I want. I will use my move tool to adjust it. Now I'm not able to move it because I need to be on my face mode. So this is me being on my face mode to select all this face. Then I will now start adjusting it. So you notice that as I'm adjusting it here, it is reflecting here. I will adjust it here, put it here. Then I can also scale it. So after I'm done, once I've gotten what I like, I'm good to go. I will now go to my object mode to see the beauty of what I've done. Now the next thing is to add the text. So in order to add the text, I'll switch back again to my layout mode. I told you guys about where to download fonts. I said the font. So for the font, I downloaded this font called 7 Segment. So when I downloaded the font, I went to my file manager where the font is downloaded. I clicked here to extract it. So I just extracted it here. So after extracting it here, I have that font here in my downloaded folder. So I have it here in my downloaded folder. We can see it here. And the next thing I did was I now went to Blender, making sure I'm in my top mode. I press Shift A and I go to here that I can find text. Click on Add Text. I pulled it out so that nothing is blocking it. Then I go to Edit mode, delete all the text I have and type the number 08. I think that is 818, 826. Okay. Who else is noticing it? Okay. Yeah. I think it's network. So the next thing I need to do now is I've downloaded the font, so I need to change this font with the font I downloaded already. I will now click on this part where you can see a object data. Click on the font. Now replace it with what I've downloaded. So from the regular, I'll click on this folder here, go to my downloads and pick that font that I just downloaded. Now the next thing is to give it details, and I said I need to bevel it, I need to extrude it. In order to extrude it, I will go to geometry and extrude it. And the last thing I said I did was to scroll down to the bevel and give it just a little bevel, very small tiny bevel. I did like 0.00. I did 0.0001. Then after adding the bevel, I moved it and placed it here. Rotated it along x-axis 90°, making sure I'm in my front selection mode. Scale it to fit and placed it here. Placed it here. Now, the last thing I did was to attach a material to it. And the material I attached is this one I used for the light at the top. So select the number, click down here and pick speaker light. And that's how I added light to it. Is there any questions so far? Because I'm done. You're welcome. You can, but make sure you're on one view. The reason why I stayed in top view to do it is so that I can rotate after I'm done. But make sure you're in a flat view. So let me show you what it means, what it is like to do it from other views. Let's say, for instance, I go to Shift A and I added a text. See, you can't see the text now. You see it's lying down. So the only way you can see it is when you're looking from the top. That's why you see me always stay in the top before I start doing it. But it doesn't mean that you can't do it. You can do it. After I'm done, I will just rotate it along x-axis 90°. I can place it here, then start writing my text. It's just that the default way text will place is always lying down. Yeah. So you can type anything you want. Your da, 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 da. Is there any other question? Obiora, from your own side. Victor, you can ask because I'm not seeing. Mhm. Okay. And it worked for you? Okay, perfect. And if at all when you are beveling it, you notice it is not doing equally, you know what to do? Control A, apply scale. Yeah. Yeah, you have to be in object mode to do that. Won't work. Yeah, it won't even answer you. Yeah, that's good thing about Blender. Good one. You see A to add the you after you've added the text, you've typed your text. In order to change font, that is where you go to this part where you see A. Get the text, you press Shift A, and this is text. That's the same way you add mesh. Any other one question? Mhm. So the reason that you are having a reference image is so that you can be seeing what you're doing. But if you have two PC, you can also be looking at it somewhere else. You understand? You can see it. I'm using reference image even you can see my reference image, right? I'm using reference image while teaching you to see what I'm doing. But if I have it already on my head, no need of reference. UV editing, okay. You mean this one or this one? The one at the middle. Okay, what I did was I made sure I'm on my top mode. Go switch to UV editing. So from UV editing, I make sure I'm on my face selection mode. I selected this face. I right click, go to this part where I see project from view. Click on project from view and started adjusting it according to what fits. That's just it. Any more question? Mm-hmm. Very good question. I'm using a software called PureRef. Yeah, this is here. It's free. It's paid. You just have to tell them. You can see my screen from the installer. You see they have prices. They have $15, $7 custom amount. So from custom amount, it's more like saying, God, I beg, I don't have money. Zero. To allow you. Yeah, you're welcome. So you just use God a bit. But if you start earning and you feel like you have money, it's very good to patronize them since they are giving out this stuff for free. I'll share the link on WhatsApp. It's called QRF. Is there any other confusion or we call it a day? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. The reason why you're having that line is it's now going back again to topology. So when you use that the boolean to cut, when you use boolean to cut those holes, let me say for instance, I want to cut a hole here. If you cut the hole, it will cause some topology issue. But if you face such issue, what you just have to do is use loop cut to tie it in such a way that it won't be visible. In order to fix that, it will take you to another advanced step. But the easiest step and easier way to just fix it is, let's say for instance, you're seeing those lines here. Let me give you an instance for you to see what I'm talking about. That's a good observation. Okay, I select this guy and go to Boolean and I cut. Now, if you notice, you see that immediately I cut, something happened to my shader. It's, I don't know if you observed it. It might be very, very tiny for you to see in this call, but I'll show you what happened. Okay, now let me show you what happened. If I should apply my objects and I go to my edit mode, you now see these lines, see this line that appeared, you see? So this line is what is causing that thing that you see. You see that line is not here, it's not here, it's not here, but it is now here. The reason it's here is because of this cut that we had. So I told you that the best way to fix it is just use Control R to add loop cut. In that your situation, when you just add loop cut, it will fix it. But in this particular situation, if I select everything, I can just use my insert. I can use insert to fix it here. But in that your situation, what you need to fix it with is you need to fix it with just adding loop cut. You add a loop cut to tie it here and here. You're good to go. So guys, I hope all your questions have been answered and we can call it a day. All right, you're free. Mhm. Coming to the side. Yeah, you come to this side. from your toolbar. Yours is something like this. Then if you want to get that, you select an object, then click on move. You need to go back and watch those my previous videos so that you get the basics. If you don't understand the basics, it will really show in your advanced when you go to advanced mode. So just try as much yeah, model it. Of of course you can. You can model it. Let's say for instance, I want to model this guy here. It's just pressing Shift A. Get let's say I want to even do it with just a plane. I'll scale everything inside. I like your question. It's a very good one. And I in fact I'll even like that as an assignment. So scale it along Y, making sure I'm selecting everything. I'll press E to extrude it. Then making sure I'm in object mode, I'll place it inside. This was your question, right? So you see it's not difficult. Then for this guy, for this one, you shift A again. We can as well use a plane. Come this part from my front mode. I go to my edit mode, go to my what's it called? Go to my vertex mode, select one of the vertices and delete it. I'll just press X or delete button to delete the vertice. Sorry, rather, instead of deleting it, I would dissolve it. Click on dissolve vertice. Then I'll come again, bring it here and start adjusting it. Yeah, it's a nice something to try out. Now, if you watch, you see that their own is outline and our own is face. You can as well come to your face, be on your tree, use insert to insert it, then delete the face, then extrude it. You can do the same thing also for this part. Do cross is just something similar to this. Then for this part also, this one that is looking like as if it is tough, same thing as well. Use this guy. It's just all about using the image that looks closer to it in your eyes. So for this part again, I can decide to achieve it using circle. Let's say I want to achieve it using circle. I would scale my circle along y axis. No, it's not giving me the effect. I'll go on edit mode, select vertex mode, select half of it like this, and pull it this way. Scale it inside again. Come back. Seriously, Obiora, that's an invitation to like intermediate modeling. And if you can start playing around with it, it will help you learn Blender very well. also. But the whole tools you're talking about is all there. So I select everything. I'll press F to fill it with a face. Either I press F or I right click and say fill with face. I'll insert it again with I and I'll delete that face. You see? After which I will extrude it. Yeah, but that's by the way. I hope that answered your question, Obiora. Yeah, but for now, I wouldn't suggest you do it in this particular project. That one, that for that part, you just need to model create exactly. Try more modeling. It will help you to get stronger in Blender. But if you try to add it in this project, then we'll spend more time and at the end we won't achieve the end result. Cool. Any other questions, guys? Yeah. Hmm? Right, guys. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, guys. All right. Bye bye.